The BMW i4. I think everybody's looking at this and thinking it's a Tesla Model 3 rival, which is, not unexpected, given that if I had to choose a Tesla Model 3 rival when I got mine 3.5 years ago, it would have been a 3 Series BMW, or in this case a 4 Series BMW. It's a 4 Series but in electric form, the BMW i4. You've got a different grille and a few other blue highlights, but it's essentially the same car, which I think a lot of people like. Rather than do the old Nissan Leaf thing where you make an electric car look very, very different and wacky, well, they've gone for, we'll just electrify the current range. So let me know which you prefer, something different or something familiar. In this case, it's a BMW with a big grille. I've had a couple of BMWs in the past. For me personally, not the best looking range at the moment, but let's not kid ourselves. These aren't for us. They're for other markets. China, then maybe America, then perhaps Europe. Essentially, it is what it is. But the one thing that I always remember about the BMWs I've owned in the past, build quality, ride, handling, genuinely does feel like a, dare I say it, a BMW. And I'm hoping that shines through in the electric version of this. The looks though are very family based, and well, let me know what you think. That is very divisive, as I said, but we'll skip around it and let's look at the side. The one thing I do like about this is that it's not an SUV, it's not an iX or an X3 or an X1. It's just a normal car, if you will, a hatch. You've got some nice flush but hidden-esque door handles that don't have to pop out. You can put your hands in. The rear entry is acceptable for a family car. I've seen bigger, but I've seen far worse. And it's just got that thud that you would get out of a premium German marque, I guess. It's got the usual sort of little details to make it look M-like, of course. It's a BMW, and this is where the charging port is. CCS, of course. Imagine, if you will, you're getting out of a car. It's raining, it's dirty, the outside of the car is filthy. This here is what you'll be scraping your bottom half of your leg on when you get out. So don't wear white trousers in winter with one of these, because when you shut the door, this is completely uncovered. So essentially, when that gets dirty, you get dirty on the way out, unless you do this. For me, this is its best angle. I do like the rear of the modern BMs. You got the narrow headlights, the kind of bulbous, sticky outy rear, and just a nicely raked rear screen. The boot, it's big. Probably a little bit bigger than the Tesla in terms of litres, or the Model 3 for example, but it is flatter, it's easy to get into, and it's a hatch. I do like a hatchback. Well, I think, let's face it, the UK prefers a hatchback. You've got some storage under here, although not a huge amount. You can sort of fit something in there, but because it's got the premium audio system in it, not much. One of those that's not the most practical, and remember, this is the 4 Series, not the 3 Series. It's certainly not the Tourer, the Estate. So you are losing a bit of that rear height with the coupe-ness at the back. But if this isn't big enough for you, then you've got, well, you want an Estate, let's face it. You want something that's a lot more practical as a priority, rather than just something that maybe looks a bit better. In some ways, I prefer a 3 Series, if I'm honest. The inside of the BMW, for me, is where you get the benefit of a BMW. This is where the feel of it is much higher than, well, like my Tesla, for example. That's okay. Yep, fine. Buttons. Nice materials. A little bit cheap there. Decent door bin. I mean, the build quality is all solid. You've got this big screen here. It goes all along there. And again, I don't think there's any build quality worries at all. Let's face it, a BMW does come with a certain level of expectation, and this absolutely meets that. This is where you change the gear. You go to drive, reverse, neutral, and so forth. And the brilliant iDrive controller, which affects that massive screen here, which is one of the better systems, but I'll be honest, I prefer some of the previous things, especially as they've now moved the climate controls, so it's no physical buttons anymore. You have to click on that and then do whatever it is you want to do. It's fast, it's high resolution, it's everything you want. But when you look at the sheer amount of options that you've got, I mean, look at this. You've got options within options within options. You've got all sorts of things. This is essentially a laptop. So a lot of people would be put off by that, but you know what? Just use CarPlay wirelessly. Storage down here, wireless charging, cup holders, USB, 12 volt. You've got all the various buttons for your sport, comfort and eco, and of course the iDrive controllers. It feels okay here. I'm not sure about this. It's not my favourite bit of the car, if I'm honest. Armrest with storage underneath. Lots of storage and more USB. Feels quite nice, but it doesn't move. However, I'm in a very nice position. There's one thing BMWs are very good at, it's driving position. What about the glove box then?
Oh, it's going to be premium, isn't it? It's got a
Premium glove box. Yeah, well, it's full,
right.
full width at least.
Yeah. It's not a massive glove box, but you'll get gloves in it.
It will do. Gloves will definitely fit in the glove box.
Yeah.
On button is down here. Ooh. And then you get, of course, some noise and the virtual cockpit-esque, which I won't go through every option, but effectively it looks really cool. Now, of course, we're not in a standard spec BMW.
No.
But these are one of the highlights and one of the benefits, if you will, of a BMW in it.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
They are very seats.
Look at that blue stitching.
It is very nice. We are in a coupe, so what's the headroom like?
Paw.
Well, so adults, short journeys?
Adults, short journeys. Kids are going to be fine.
Yeah.
There's a transmission tunnel.
Of course.
Hang on, we'll move that out of the way.
That's the camera equipment. So that's going to hamper the middle bench.
It is, yeah. I don't think you're going to get anybody in the middle. I think you could probably get 2 small adults in here for a journey, but it's not great.
I want sport mode. I'm going to go in sport mode. Ooh, it's gone all red.
This is going to kill us. Or do we just want sport mode? When sport... God, how many options do you get?
Is this too complicated for average Joe?
I just want a button I can press that says sport, and if I want to go into other stuff, I can do that through a separate menu.
Well, you got me, haven't you? Sport, comfort, eco,
pro. With loads of different modes.
Well, you know what? Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
It's easy to include. It doesn't distract from the car. If you don't want it, you just ignore it.
I'm glad they've left those with buttons.
Yes.
Taking the heater away seems to be a massive problem.
Right. Now, I must admit, I do miss my BMW from quite a few years ago now. Its quietness, it's silent. It just felt like that's where my money's gone.
Oh yeah.
Even my mum got in it and said, I can see why this is more expensive than other.
Well, I miss my BMW for that. It was the sort of car where you do 70 miles an hour and it felt like you were just ticking over.
Yeah, which...
Autobahn cruiser.
Well, yeah, which is kind of what it's designed for, I suppose. So this is the M50?
Yeah.
Which is the quicker one.
Which is fast.
I did want the the E35, I think it's called, the entry level. But
that's 300 and some brake horsepower, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're always getting performance no matter what.
Whoa. I mean, that is obscenely quick.
Yeah, you're never going to need that, are you? You're never going to need that level. Now, I have to say, it does feel like what I'd expect.
Yeah.
It feels solid. I feel like I'm driving granite along the road, but comfortable granite. That's a very strange thing to say, but...
It does feel a step up inside from a Tesla, doesn't it?
Well, let's talk about that. So this starts 50 grand upwards. Not this particular one, but the E35. So you're looking at £7,000 more than the standard range Model 3. And bear in mind that the refresh is coming out probably the same price.
Yeah. Is it worth the premium?
The interior is definitely better.
It's a definite step up,
100% better. I'm not saying aesthetically some people won't like the minimalistic Tesla experience.
Yeah.
But the fit and finish is just miles
It feels
ahead.
like an old friend as well, doesn't it? It's very familiar.
Yeah, I would have no worries with this car in terms of build quality, whereas now mine's out of warranty. I am a little bit like, I hope nothing goes wrong, because then I'm going to have to deal with Tesla. But to be fair, there's horror stories on BMW dealers as well.
Look at that. The rear camera's 4K almost. Better than reality, is that, isn't it?
IMAX. The entry-level i4 is the same price. I think no options.
Yeah.
Nobody buys a BMW without options.
No.
But that is the same price, near as damn it, as the long-range Model 3.
So I can see a lot of people who's going to go, get a long-range Model 3. It's a quicker car. You get the charging infrastructure.
You can't argue with the charging infrastructure,
You can't, no.
I mean, let's take that out of it for a second, because that alone is
a reason
to go for the Tesla over this. I mean, the car we're in today, the M50 with options, is 70 grand.
No, it's more than that.
Is it?
Yeah. This one is 78.
78. So
Nearly 80 grand car.
the
It's basically it's a 3 Series, a bit longer. It's a 4 Series.
so effectively, the Model 3 performance is 58, 59.
I get a performance and gone some really nice holidays.
So who's getting this other than company car drivers then?
People who really like BMWs and don't like Teslas.
I mean, I get it.
Oh, yeah, I like it. Money with no object, I'd have one.
All right then, how about this? Your money, which do you go for? We will look at other cars. Yeah, Tesla. You've got the supercharger network and you've got a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and it's a lot faster.
Let's imagine I ring you up and say, right, we're going to Scotland, North Coast 500, and we've got the option of...
This one. Yeah.
There we go. So I guess if money is less of a concern to you,
You're gonna get
you
one
go
of
for
these.
this over
I
that,
bet-
apart from the charging.
I bet this would probably feel a bit more fun to drive.
I do like how the Tesla drives, but this is just... yeah. I get it. I get it.
German
Yeah.
engineering.
All right, so let's skip and go to other EVs. 50 upwards. You could get the ID.5.
I'd get the ID.5 over. I wouldn't know.
Genesis GV60, different type of car.
I'd get the GV60.
Would you?
Yeah. The interior on that, the sound system.
The charging speeds.
It's got a drift mode.
That's a tough one,
It's
is
got
that one?
the crystal globe thing that turns around. That's got to be worth a...
Again, with my own money, I'd go for that. Borrowing it, I'd go for
for
this. I mean, this typifies it for me. We'll do the Tesla comparison, and I promise we'll stop there. BMW build the car around the driver.
Yep.
It
is.
Yeah. Tesla, take away the indicator stalks.
Yeah. That should be a BMW thing. They're playing BMW at the wrong game.
BMW would make it a subscription.
Yeah, they would, yeah. True.
Oh, you want to indicate, do you?
It's a subscription, is that?
That makes a difference to the cabin, doesn't it?
That does, yeah. As you can probably see on camera, you can probably see us now.
Oh, the car we're in today,
80.
Taycan.
Yeah, get a Taycan.
A base Taycan, but a Taycan.
A second-hand Taycan.
Ooh. So they're just, I mean, that's BMW in a nutshell, isn't it? Once you start optioning them.
It does seem an awful... I mean, one of the options here is M Sport seat belts. It's got a technology plus pack. That's £2,000. It's got a comfort pack. That's nearly 1,300. It's got a tow bar. That's 1,100. It's got the alloys. That's 1,500. 1,200 quid.
Right, so tick, 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 tick. So no one buys a £50,000 i4 then, do they?
Did you know there's a lot of nice cars?
You're getting into high-end stuff then, aren't you?
You are.
Mercedes or BMW?
Yeah.
What, as a brand, which would you go
That
for?
could BMW every time.
Yeah, I think I would.
I don't know why.
There's nothing wrong with Mercedes,
No.
but I've got
more of an emotional attachment to
Yeah,
BMW.
yeah.
Maybe it's because I've owned one, I don't know.
So the entry level got 286 bhp, more than enough.
That's enough, yeah.
340 for the next one up. Again, that's silly fast in EV world because of all that.
All that at once.
Lots of torque. The range, I would say, for the entry level, now they brought it out, is 170 to 220 miles. That's the average.
Yeah.
You could get more if you tried, blah, blah, blah.
So very Tesla-y as well.
Well, that's standard range. So you can clearly see they've brought out the cheaper version after the i4 came out to rival it. Yeah. But then it's still $7,000 more after the Tesla price reduction.
Like you said before, is it a competitor? It is in terms of what it is, in terms of the size of it, the package. But in terms of being $7,000 more expensive, that's almost 20% more.
Charging, 180 in the base, 200 kilowatts in this. That's enough, isn't it? But again,
try and find somewhere that's going to charge it.
Yeah. So it always comes down to the charging network.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon the car we're in weighs?
I'm saying 2 tonne.
Unladen.
1.92 tonne.
2,125 kilograms. It's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot, yeah.
Especially when you consider the alternatives that we're not going to mention.
So no wonder the brakes are so big.
Yeah. The one we're in today's got 81 kilowatt hours usable battery.
Yeah, that's a
big battery. That will do, what did we say? About 200 to 260, I would say, on that one. So obviously you get the bigger range.
Yeah.
And you got 67 kilowatt hours at the smaller battery version, which again, for most, 95% of journeys, it's enough in the UK, isn't it? But the one thing that I definitely have noticed, I feel instantly comfortable. Do you know, like sometimes it takes a while to get used to a car?
Yeah.
None of it.
It's like putting a glove on, isn't it?
Yeah. It is one of those, if you cough too hard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's frightfully fast, isn't
Ferocious.
it? Yeah. That wasn't even flooring it, that was just feathering it.
Yeah. So what are we saying then? If money is, or a company car, basically, if this is an option, it's a very nice option.
It is, yeah.
But whatever you think the price starts at, it will be that and then some.
I think you need to give yourself at least an extra 5, 6 over the list.
Yeah.
Just to add some. Well, do you know what? Add things that you might kind of expect to get.
Yeah.
But it's German. We know they don't do that. They either charge you for giving you something or charge you for taking it away.
Yeah. Oh, you want the lightweight version? That's extra.
That's extra, yeah.
I do like it.
Overall impressions?
I like it.
I
would,
like
you know, again, I would have one. I just don't think the value is there compared to some of the competitors. I mean, would you go for this over a Polestar 2? Well, it puts a smile on your face, doesn't it?
But I don't know how long that. Do you know what? Would that get boring after a while?
Well, you get that a lot of.
No. I go for this over a Polestar.
I think I would too.
I didn't particularly. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was. I didn't. Do you know what the Polestar is? Everyone said it was like the best car you'd ever driven. I got into it and went.
I didn't see that.
It feels really heavy and it doesn't corner as well as I perhaps thought.
I mean, it's an SUV proportioned car. Right. So overall, then, I would say that as a company car, this is definitely one I would go for if it's on my option list. Unless I'm doing long journeys, I would probably go for it over the Model 3 as a company car.
Do you know what? If it wasn't my money, I would go for this.
But if it is your money, you wouldn't.
I'd find it hard pressed to just because
it's that much more.
It doesn't seem. In terms of what else is around, I feel like I can get my money's worth, but it doesn't seem like good value.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's like, well, I can nearly get the same sort of everything from somebody else, and it's cheaper.
It's expensive.
It's expensive,
but you know,
really
what
nice.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
Although compared to what you used to be able to get 3 Series and 4 Series for, I think that's the hard pill to swallow.
I'm struggling to see £80,000 car. Got a dial in, haven't you? You know, M3s and stuff are getting to around £100,000 now. It's
100 grand M3.
Yeah.
And we should point out as well to anybody getting this as a company car, you can absolutely, really easily drive up the chuff of the guy in front.
It's dead easy.
It is easy. Right, well, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, Driving Home, second
podcast.
channel. I need a screenshot for this. It's dragging 5 minutes onto
Can
the
you
end
just
of everything.
paste something that we did before and just paste it in at the end?
Us from a year ago.
Yeah. Looking like you.
Right, well, thanks for watching, guys. I like it.
I
you
like it as
it?
well. Yeah.
And just wouldn't bite with me on money.
Yeah.
So, right, cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.